Doghouse, and in response to some of your questions on Instagram, I have brought together a selection of the chews that we recommend for your dog to keep them busy and occupied and away from chewing your furniture while you are in the house for an extended period of time. So all of these are natural treats. We tend to err on the side of natural products for dogs here, and I would always recommend buying as natural as you can for your dog. So we range from things like the wood treats, and I know it's bizarre, you're buying a stick for your dog, you can get a stick in the park, but these are different to sticks that you might find in the park. They're wood that won't split and won't splinter, so your dog can chew on these without the worry that they will end up with a splint injury in their mouth or a splinter in their throat. So that's really important. But they're nice and hard and resistant, so if your dog is teething, you're really looking for something hard for them to really bite down on, because the reason that they're chewing your skirting boards or your chair legs is because they're looking for something that they can really get their teeth into and push against when their teeth are coming down through their gums. It really makes them want to chew hard on something. So a solid treat like wood or antlers are very good. Again, antlers, they are natural, obviously. The dogs will want to get to the marrow in the middle, and the split antlers are brilliant. Persistent chewers or heavy duty chewers, these are brilliant because they get to the marrow quickly enough to get some reward and want to keep chewing. Great for puppies because they're younger and they don't put as much pressure on treats when they're chewing, and so they can access the goodness out of it and be inclined to keep chewing because they're getting the taste of the marrow. And then we have the flat antlers, the fallow antlers. Again, they're not as tough and resistant to chewing as the regular antlers, but they're great for dogs that are smaller or that aren't quite such heavy duty chewers and don't need something quite so resistant. And then we move on to, well, basically the bits of dead animal. We have all manner of ears. We've got goat ears, we've got buffalo ears, we've got pig's ears, we've got rabbit ears. So the great thing about this is they're obviously all natural. They're a byproduct of the industry. So none of these animals are killed to get their ears. They are something that would otherwise end up in dog food or landfill or whatever else happens to bits of animal. But the nice thing is you just really try different ones and see what your dog particularly likes. But they're a nice alternative to rawhide. Some of the ears we do sell rabbit ears that come with skin on, which is kind of grim, but also really great because the skin, the hair, dogs love it, but it helps floss their teeth while they're chewing, and the hair also acts as a natural wormer. So again, really good reasons why you might want to be feeding your dog an ear with hair on it. We have all manner of bits of animal. We've got lamb's tails, we've got beef tails, we've got pig snouts, oh gosh, we've got ribs. These look fantastic. I haven't actually tried one of these with Sparky yet. I've had great feedback on them, but they're air dried, so they shouldn't splinter the way that baked bones might splinter. They've got residue of fat and meat on them, so they're going to be a really great treat for your dog. It's really hard to tell you how long any of these treats will last because dogs are so individual. And you might have a big dog that's not a very committed chewer. You might have a small dog that just will chew through things in no time. So all of these obviously are recommendations, but you will build up an understanding of what your dog particularly likes or how long chews will keep you busy. And I know that's difficult because we can't tell you how long a pig's ear is going to last your dog. I can tell you that this would last Sparky about 20 minutes. I also know that I don't give him pig's ears because they upset his tummy, because they are a bit fattier than some of the other ears. So a goat's ear isn't quite as fatty as a pig's ear. So I guess that also leads me on to being mindful about how often you give your dog treats, because really I would say probably something like a pig's ear or a goat's ear or one of these ribs, really only once a day, that's plenty. It might be that your dog spends all day chewing this. It might be that, like Sparky, he'd get through a pig's ear in 15 minutes. But obviously if you give the more treats you give your dog, the more likely they are to gain weight. So it's just about being sensible and using common sense when you're treating your dog. Looking down here, actually, I'm reminded teething dogs and dogs that are quite hard chewers, the YAKERS. This is Himalayan goat's milk that's been dried, the curd, and again, very hard. So it's really brilliant for dogs that like to chew. And if you have this at home and your dog is chewing on it quite happily, obviously when they get towards the bottom, you're going to start worrying that you shouldn't really leave that with your dog, quite rightly. And the great thing about this is the last little bit you can pop into your microwave for a few minutes and it will puff up, and then it's a nice crunchy chew that they will work through, and it won't present a hazard. With any of these chews, they come with the caveat that you shouldn't leave your dog alone with them unless you're confident that they are just going to chew on it and not get themselves into a pickle and get something stuck in their throat. So all of the treats would be marked up, and we would recommend that you only leave your dog alone with them if you're confident that they're just going to chew on it and not choke. We've got some really big bones. This is an ostrich bone. Your dog would be hard pressed to choke on this one, but I would give that to Sparky. It's not too big for him. He'd really enjoy chewing on this and peeling off all the tendon and bits of meat and fat that are left on there. And anything that your dog can chew on is great for their teeth. It helps them relax when they're chewing, and so quite often we'll give dogs something to chew in the evening because it will just help them settle down and relax and hopefully settle for the night. Something like this, if I was giving this to Sparky, I wouldn't leave him with it all day, because I would worry that he would chew and chew and chew and eat so much of this he wouldn't eat his dinner. But also you don't want to let them get bored of it. So if you give this to your dog, you could let them chew on it for half an hour, and then take it away from your dog so that they're excited next time you get it out. With any of these, if you leave treats or toys lying around, then dogs will get bored of them. So it's really good practice to take a chew away if they're not chewing on it and they've lost interest. Put it away and then bring it out another time and mix it up a little bit. We've got things like, this is rawhide that's been wrapped with dried cod skin around it. I don't really have an issue with rawhide. I'd quite happily feed it to Sparky. I probably just wouldn't give them to him every day. And these they particularly like because they've got dried fish around them, we've got dried chicken around them, and then we've got other things like the deer tendons, which are really resistant chews, and they will sit and work their way through that. I think it takes Sparky about half an hour to get through that. We've got the PIZZLES. Now, we all love a pizzle, and one of the reasons we love a pizzle is because most people have no idea what a pizzle is, and you're right, a pizzle, if you're thinking, is a penis. So I've got here a piece of cut pizzle. This is actually a complete bull's penis. So they are quite substantial when they're not cut. But they generally are cut down into smaller chews, and that would keep Sparky busy for probably about half an hour or so, because they're quite tough, and dogs absolutely love them. I know they're gross and we think they're gross, but actually they're brilliant for keeping your dog busy. This is a lamb pizzle that's been twisted up, so again, because it's dried and twisted, your dog's going to have to hold that and chew on it and really work at that, so it's going to keep them busy. I think really that's about it. With any of the chews that we sell, it's just really a case of trying lots of different chews, finding out what your dog likes and how long it's going to keep them occupied. But I hope this has been useful. Thank you.